Hey guys, back again today to talk about the newest putter released in Electron plastic. The Electron Anode came out the other day. I've been testing it now for a week and a half, something like that. I have one Anode in the Neutron plastic. These ones have been out for a long time. That's, I believe, a 170 and quite a bit more worn in. I've had this for a while. And then I have my Electron Anode, which is a 172, like I said, just a couple weeks old. And so far, this has probably been the closest disc to its high plastic counterparts. As far as its stability, and it might just be because the Neutron Anode that I have is quite a bit more worn in and I think a couple grams lighter, but it's extremely close to the same stability. I threw a whole bunch of different lines. I tried to throw some hyzers. Today we have a little bit of crosswind, tailwind. At least it's nice out. That's all I'm happy about. We have grass again, as you can see, which is always exciting. I threw some hyzers, I threw some anhyzers, I threw some interesting turnover shots, some standstill shots, some straight shots. Tried to get just about every line that I could out of it, and they were extremely consistent as far as landing right next to each other, which I was really happy about. I actually like the feel of the Electron one quite a bit more. You guys are going to hear me say this every time something comes out in Electron plastic, but this is without a doubt my favorite baseline plastic. I love the feel of the Electron plastic, and they also came out feeling just a little bit thinner, a little bit flatter on top than the Neutron ones and the Proton ones do. So I was excited to see that. The Anode is an extremely glidey putter. It's got tons of glide. I think it's probably the most glide that I've found in an MVP putter, maybe followed shortly after by the Proxy and the Spin. But it's a really good disc as far as just being able to put it on a straight line. It doesn't have a lot of fade to it. It also resists the turn decently well. I got them up in the air today on an anhyzer line, and they kind of caught the wind and carried over for some really interesting turnover shots and held their consistency, which I was surprised with. They did a really good job maintaining consistency, still hitting pretty much pinpoint accuracy where I put them, which was really good to see. And actually the hyzer lines did a surprising job resisting the crosswind as well. I was pretty impressed with their stability because it's not a disc I use for any sort of hyzer shots. I just use it for approach type shots, any shot where I want to be able to put it out there with little power and know the disc is going to glide to wherever it's headed. It's got tons of air cushion. It never really runs out of steam, or it runs out of steam really gradually wherever it's headed. It'll float for a while getting there. So I used to use this for tunnel shots before I got the Spin. And like I've said before, I'm more of a fan of the thinner feeling, flat, low profile putters. So the Anode fell out of my bag for a little bit, but now that it's out in Electron and it's got that little bit flatter feel to it, I'm gonna have to sit down and do a little bit of contest between it and the Spin to see which one fits in there. I do really like the glide of the Anode. I feel like that's extremely useful for upshot type situations. So we'll have to see which one of them ends up in there. If you are looking for a gliding putter, any sort of approach type putter, or a really straight putter that you can really loft and get to carry wherever you're headed, the Anode is a great disc for it. Definitely check it out if you have been a fan of the Anode and want to try it in the Electron plastic. Definitely get a hold of one. Like I said, the stability is almost exactly the same between the two that I have, which makes me really happy. I think it's at a good midpoint in stability. And if you're looking to get into MVP disc sports, definitely check out the Anode. It's a really cool disc. It has a special amount of glide. I think that's the most noteworthy thing about this disc, is the amount of glide it has to it. So as far as putting goes, it doesn't really feel in the hand like I want my putters to feel. I think it's a great disc for it just because of the amount of loft and carry you can get out of that glide, and the long putts will really work their way to the basket without a ton of effort behind them. But it doesn't, that deep dish putter is not what I'm a fan of, so I'll stick to the Atom. However, if you're looking for a longer range putter, you like the bigger, glidier putters for your putter, it's a great disc for that, especially now in the Electron plastic. I love the Electron plastic for my putting putters. Like I said, it's not something I use for stability or for hyzer shots. I use it for turnovers, I use it for tunnel shots, I'll use it for straight shots and approaches, and I think it's a great disc for that. So if you have been looking to check one out, the Electron plastic is great. They're almost mirror images of the higher end plastic, just with that grippier baseline feel. So if you guys have any other questions about the Electron Anode, feel free to ask them down in the comment section. I also tried to mix up the filming a little bit with some shots from behind me as well as the drone shots from the air. Let me know what you guys think about it. It is, like I said, a little windy out here today, so hopefully the audio quality comes out fine. Sorry about that if there's some issues with it. But let me know if you have a suggestion for this next time, something else you'd like to see in the video or hear about, and I'm always open to feedback. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.